Good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining me for this WNCT Now update. I'm Emily Severidge, live in our digital studio. WNCT is providing you with live-streamed updates every Monday through Friday at 1:30 p.m. and 4 o'clock p.m. to bring you the latest and up-to-date news before our nightly newscast. Now on your side is keeping up with the latest in relation to Isaias. The following counties have issued states of emergency ahead of the storm. The Cherry Branch Ferry and Havelock will be shutting down operations around 2 o'clock. Those state of emergency counties already in effect are Carteret, Craven, Currituck, Dare, Duplin, Emerald Isle, Hyde County, Jacksonville, Kinston, Onslow County, and Washington County. WNCT is also keeping track of open shelters for the storm. You can head over to WNCT.com under shelters across ENC for the most updated list on those. As our team continues to track Isaias, our first alert meteorologist Alex Wasilenko has our Monday forecast for us.
Happy Monday, everybody. I'm your First Alert meteorologist, Alex Wasilenko, reporting from a very busy First Alert Weather Center today. The crew is all here as we continue to track Tropical Storm Isaias. It is making good progress up the East Coast this afternoon. Tropical Storm Isaias has max winds of 70 miles per hour, and it's moving north at 13 miles per hour. It has increased in speed, but the intensity has remained the same over the last several hours. On that current track, Tropical Storm Isaias may briefly strengthen into a Category 1 storm before making landfall along the North Carolina-South Carolina border overnight tonight through early Tuesday morning. The worst impacts in eastern North Carolina will be felt overnight tonight through the day on Tuesday, with heavy rainfall on the order of 3 to as much as 6+ inches in eastern North Carolina. Again, late tonight through Tuesday. It's going to be a windswept rain as well, with those tropical storm to hurricane force wind gusts expected on the order of 50 to 75+ miles per hour. That wind, as it continues to whip along the Crystal Coast and Outer Banks, may result in some storm surge flooding. 2 to 4 feet of surge inundation are possible, with the highest impacts along the Crystal Coast, Outer Banks, and also from Rodanthe to Cape Lookout. But our Sound Side and river communities, you will not be forgotten either. The Pamlico Sound, especially north of Pea Island, the Neuse River and Pamlico River, even Manteo and Kitty Hawk will likely see some storm surge flooding out of this event. Where you see the orange shading, that's where dune overwash is also possible. That's high tide tomorrow morning. Tuesday morning is going to be ever so important, as that storm surge will likely be worse as we head into the early morning hours on Tuesday. It may couple with that high tide, and that could bring about some worse flooding across the Crystal Coast and Outer Banks. In summary, finish those storm preparations immediately, as those outer rain bands are beginning to arrive now and will continue to do so this afternoon. The center of the storm will arrive during the day Tuesday, with eastern North Carolina likely remaining on the stronger side of the system, so do get ready for an active next 24 to 36 hours across eastern North Carolina. You can track all the changes with Tropical Storm Isaias and your First Alert weather team by downloading that free First Alert weather app. Stay weather aware, make it a great Monday, and also keep up to date on those latest, very important forecast details when it comes to Tropical Storm Isaias. I'm your First Alert meteorologist, Alex Wasilenko.
All right, stay with us, and we'll be right back with some more news after this short break.
Side reporters are all across the East and in your neighborhood.
In Tarboro,
in Kinston,
in Greenville,
at Atlantic Beach.
Covering local stories that impact you.
The groundbreaking ceremony is the beginning of construction for Morehead City's 4th City Hall.
People from all over the state of North Carolina gathered at the Sycamore Hill Missionary Baptist Church.
Historic Turnage Theater in Washington helps the community celebrate art and culture.
See their original reporting weekdays on 9 on Your Side News.
Thank you so much for joining me. If you're just tuning in, I'm Emily Severidge, live in our digital studio, providing you with some early afternoon updates. Now on your sides, Kayla Schmidt is in North Topsail Beach today to keep us updated on what's going on along the coast as we wait for Isaias. Kayla was out on the beach at 10 o'clock this morning with an update for us on how things were looking.
Kayla Schmidt here in North Topsail Beach, where we are not seeing effects of Isaias yet. You can even see a little sun behind me, which is interesting. We have a lot of locals and vacationers here taking a stroll on the beach while they can, taking advantage of the good weather, but it is hot. There is a nice breeze. This town is under a state of emergency right now, and police say they plan to close the bridge when winds hit 45 miles per hour. There's one of those strollers I was talking about before. They just keep coming by, getting that last bit of sunshine before the arrival of Isaias. For now, I'm Kayla Schmidt in North Topsail.
All right, now we're going to head over to Atlantic Beach to check in with 9 on Your Side's Madison Forsey on what's going on right now.
Really not a bad day to be outside here in Atlantic Beach. Not as sunny as what we saw yesterday. We've seen this thick, kind of heavy clouds move in. Only a little bit of light rain this morning, but within the last hour, it's been completely dry. You can see some people are on the beach. They're taking advantage of the decent weather, you know, maybe not as hot being in the sun. We did speak to one woman who was planning on surfing today. She said she wasn't too concerned about the storm, but did say really the only thing that's going to get her out of the water is thunder or lightning, probably as it should. But the main thing that officials are worried about here in Atlantic Beach is the possible risk of rip currents. You can see some people are out in the water, maybe a little bit beyond the dunes, but those rip currents are difficult to spot. So that's why Atlantic Beach officials decided to post these red flags all along the beach to make sure when people come down to the beach today, they think twice. If they're a strong swimmer, not a strong swimmer, really it's not ideal for anyone to be in the water right now because those rip currents can be difficult to spot. Now, we talked to 2 people yesterday that told us that every storm is different. They've been vacationing here down at Atlantic Beach for a long time, but they decided to strap down their camper this year after they learned from some of the damage that was done in past storms like Dorian and Florence. We'll continue to monitor the conditions here in Atlantic Beach, but for now, I'm Madison Forsey reporting.
Madison also had a chance to talk to some surfers in Atlantic Beach on what they think the conditions are like.
Well, there used to be 8 piers. Now there's 1 full pier, 1/10 of a pier, and this pier is 120 feet shorter than it was. And you could shop during hurricanes which side of the pier of which pier had the easiest paddle out and which had the best break. Now this is it.
I was kind of hoping that there would be something, you know, but to get out there and it's just a little kind of shore break, a little flat, but it's fun.
All right, 9 on Your Side reporters will continue to track the storm coming in over the next couple days. We will be out on the coast and in different inland areas across eastern North Carolina to keep you updated about what is going on all over the East Coast. All right, the tropical storm Isaias could bring surges of water along the coastline. This makes sea turtle protection programs nervous about what could potentially happen to the nests. Today, Emerald Isle had 3 nests hatch and make it to the ocean. But before the storm, volunteers will have to dismantle the pathways made for turtles because they won't be able to withstand the storm. Oak Island has close to 100 sea turtle nests along the sand dunes, and volunteers at both areas are working their best to protect the nests from possible storm surges. If the water comes up high enough to the dunes and doesn't go back out, volunteers say they will lose those nests. Well, that wraps up this WNCT Now early afternoon update. I'll be back again at 4 with another update for you, so stay tuned for that, and thank you so much for joining me.